Hi everyone, my name is Vina, aka Miss WOCReader, and welcome back to my channel. So at the time I'm filming this, we are in the dog days of summer. It is hot, the days are still long, the weather is still doing what it does. We have been getting a lot of rain, but I see the stores have all their fall and Halloween stuff out, and people are starting to get into the mood of wanting those fall book recommendations. So I decided to sit down and put together some because, as we know, everybody will end up gravitating towards a lot of the same books. You're going to have your buzzier titles of the season, and sometimes black books get lost in the mix. When it comes to those buzzier titles, people will gravitate towards certain ones that have a more mainstream read white appeal. I wanted to give a few options based on genre, just for people who are still trying to finalize their TBR, maybe for the mood readers who aren't quite sure what they want to read and need some options. So this video is going to be urban fantasy based because I am an urban fantasy lover. These are just a few that I have in my collection that I don't think a lot of people have read. Some of them are newer and recently released, and I tried to put in a little bit of everything. I feel like these books all have different vibes. Since fall is the time when the children go back to school, I thought it would be good to throw in a few school-based reads. This is The Witchery by S. Isabel. So when I read it at first, I did have a lot of critique for it because it follows a lot of POVs, which can be hard to keep up with. It follows 6 POVs. You have the 4 POVs of the girls on the cover, and then you have some boys that go to the all-boys boarding school down the street. Now, these 4 girls that you see on the cover are all witches. They go to an all-witch boarding school in a small Floridian town. Every year during what is called the haunting season, wolves rise and start to kill everybody. This year, it's affecting them directly. They're going to have to put a stop to it while also battling their own internal issues. They have familial problems they're battling. They have issues with their magic that they're battling. There was a lot going on in this action-packed story. While I thought book 1 needed a little bit of improvement, she really sold me with book 2. I think after all the groundwork was laid for the world, she really came through with a great stories, and this is a duology, so if you do like book 1, you can go right on into book 2. Blood at the Root by Ladarian Williams. So I know most of you guys have seen this one around. It has been a very popular book, and it was a bestseller. This is a book that takes place at a magical HBCU. We follow Malik. He decides to free his foster brother now that he is old enough that he emancipated himself. He goes back to get his foster brother out of an abusive situation. He uses these powers that he knows he has, but he has limited knowledge about them. While on the run, he ends up meeting this figure who introduces him to the grandmother he never knew existed. The grandmother decides to take him and his foster brother in, but makes him agree to go to this school to learn more about his magic. So while this doesn't actually take place in the fall, it does take place during the summer semester while Malik is playing catch up. We get introduced to this world where there's all different types of magical powers. There's magical sororities and fraternities. There's sister campuses. There's African American mythology sprinkled throughout. There's voodoo. There's hoodoo traditions. It's kind of like a hodgepodge of all these different factions of black culture, but in a magical setting, kind of like America itself. So I thought it was really interesting. This is the first in a trilogy. Book 2 came out recently. I read book 2 and I really enjoyed it. I think if you like book 1, or even if you were a little so-so on book 1, book 2 really ups it. It was a great follow-up and worth continuing to see just how much the world is built upon, and it has you wondering how this series is going to possibly conclude. A Mastery of Monsters by Lascelles Sambury. This is more for the dark academia lovers. So you have the elite college that is super hard to get into, beautiful architecture, old history. In this world, monsters are real, and this young girl finds out that the monsters may be connected to her mother's and now brother's disappearance, so she agrees to join this secret society where you pair up with monsters in order to find her missing family members. And a part of this is that she has to attend this elite school that she was planning on skipping out on. It is a chunker. It is definitely a long one, but I really enjoyed it. I think Lascelles wrote it in a way where you don't feel the length because you're just so enthralled in everything that is going on here. Definitely, if you like dark academia and you want a little more diversity in your dark academia, because I find even when I pick up them by Black authors, usually it's like one Black main character and then a world of whiteness. This one is not that, and that really added an extra layer here. It is also set in Canada, so a different change of setting as well. Leaving school, let's get into the more adult books. This is The Vanish Witch by A.J. Locke. If you like portal fantasy, if you are just a big, like, 2000s urban fantasy lover, I think you will enjoy this. If you like vibes, you're going to enjoy this. If you are looking for something fun, this has, I would say, like, medium stakes. There's this witch named Kitane. She has a boyfriend that she loves, and she kind of moonlights as a vigilante. People pay her to get rid of these bad people that they dislike using her vanish powers. Well, one day she accidentally vanishes her boyfriend when he gets in the way, and she's living with those regrets. However, after a job gone wrong, she ends up vanished herself and finds out that people don't just disappear after she vanishes them. They end up in this crazy world that is now full of violent criminals who are all out to get her. This is Bad Witches by H.B. Akamiya. I think if you are a big fan of Charmed, you will enjoy this one. If you love lots of fashion mentions, if your dream is to live the New York life, if you like Sex in the City, that's the kind of vibes that this book gives. We are following 3 different women. They are all 22. They randomly meet on their birthday. They all share the same birthday, and their powers are activated. Now, they use their witch powers exactly how you would expect, like, young witches to use their powers, for personal gain. And while they're using their powers for personal gain and wacky hijinks are ensuing, there is this whole other realm where witches have been dormant for a while. The witch gene has been dormant. Babies were being born without the witch gene, and suddenly babies are being born again. So the way this ends, it ends with like a cliffhanger that leads to think that a book 2 is coming out. I haven't heard any rumblings of a book 2 yet, but I assume the way it ended that's going to be on the way. This is The Ghost of Gwendolyn Montgomery. It is a fast-paced fantasy, so if you are looking for something shorter that you can easily breeze through, I suggest picking this one up. If you are interested in Afro-Latin spirituality, this has plenty of it. We are following Gwendolyn, who is a publicist at New York's hottest firm. Life seems to be going well for her, but she can't help but have this feeling that everything is going to be falling apart as she tries to escape from her past. Fonzie comes back into her life, and Fonzie is a hot mess. He has a whole lot of issues. He has a crappy boyfriend, and then he decides that it's a good idea to get in a love triangle with a ghost. So if that sounds intriguing to you, go ahead and pick it up. So those are all the books that I have for this video. I will link them in the description box down below. Let me know if any of them sound interesting to you. Let me know if you have any suggestions for urban fantasy by Black authors that you think I should check out, or maybe other people should check out. If you like this video, make sure and hit that like button. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!